November comes and we finish up our last few weeks in Key West. Halloween has just limped by in Key West after Fantasy Fest, but we have recovered and are ready for the championship boat races. Our final Key West visitors arrive, Mark and Lisa, right at the end of the boat races, and we enjoy the finals together, and I also enjoy my first oyster shot. Yummy! They also arrived just in time to celebrate Dee's birthday. But first, Lisa had a list of things that they wanted to see and do in Key West, so the adventure began. From key lime pie at Blue Heaven and Bloody Mary's at Ram's Head Southernmost, both located in the Bohemian Village area of Key West. We even watched the Navy practice their parachute exercises from the boat. During their stay, Pete and Ann also arrived from North Carolina in Key West to celebrate their honeymoon, and we enjoyed celebrating at Hog's Breath their arrival. The next day was Dee's birthday, so we made sure everyone could captain the boat and took Journey out for the day to the Sand Key Lighthouse, where we picked up a mooring ball and enjoyed some snorkeling, swimming, sunning, and fishing for the day. Sadly, especially for Mark, we were unable to catch any fish this trip. Their trip seemed to quickly come to an end, and we watched our last sunset together at Mallory Square before they headed home. Right before we left, Dee and I enjoyed a birthday gift for Dee from Jack and Mindy at the Better Than Sex dessert bar in Key West. The wine and desserts were to die for. My wine was rimmed with chocolate and my bread pudding melted in my mouth. Dee chose a caramel sweet beer to complement his key lime pie masterpiece. It was a perfect, delicious evening. It was time to say goodbye to our neighbors, especially Snuggles, who we will miss. Snuggles reminded us of our first dog after we were married. His name was BJ. Snuggles loved getting a love each time we went by on the dock. Goodbye, Snuggles. It is time to move on. I apologize now for not having a wind muff. I'm working on it.
Right in between those buildings, that's the Sunset Tiki Bar and Grill. And if you're here, highly recommend the happy hour. The bartenders are awesome, and it's just a great place to start the evenings. Give you this one last look. Carnival's in today, but most days there is a cruise ship in. Sunset Island, right over there. Our starboard side, Wisteria, back to the anchorages. This is Key West Harbor. And we are going to have the little yacht sitting out here tonight. Let's spend the night out here. Get a little maybe peek at that. But we're headed up to Maryland, visit some friends, hang out, get the boat ready for our daughter to come in for Thanksgiving. Always tell when a cruise ship is in. It's very crowded during the day. Right here's the pier house. It's where Pete and Ann stayed for their honeymoon, and it's a beautiful little place.
After leaving the harbor and reaching deeper water, we dropped the line and filled the cooler with supper. We headed up to Grassy Key. We pulled into a beautiful anchorage with clear glass water, and our first greeting was from a sea turtle. I grabbed my snorkel gear and jumped in and followed him until he was able to lose me. Dee, on the other hand, spotted an anchor and chain and went diving for it, and pulled up this Delta anchor with 20 feet of stainless steel chain. What a find! We were so excited to catch up with some friends at the Jolly Roger, we did not heed the weather and the winds and spent a rough 12 hours at anchor, before giving a window to move and seek protection up to what we called Bird Island. Bird Island, Tim and Lisa caught up with us, whom we had met in Key West, and joined us on journey to watch the sunset and have dinner, which did lead to some shots of Patron, some fun times away from the wind. The next morning we found a bald eagle perched in the mangroves of Bird Island. A beautiful sight. We said our goodbyes and each headed our separate ways. They are towing their sailboat back to Indiana. The week of Thanksgiving is here, and so is our visit from Harley and Jessie. Jessie enjoyed her time on the boat, especially fishing.
Start fighting once we get closer to the boat. Okay. Let's try to take a dive. My gloves on. That little sauce in his mouth. Oh, here we go. Just listen to Daddy, okay? Right there. Hold it right there. Woo! He's nasty. Look at you.
She kept hauling them in, and the best for her was fresh fish on the table for dinner. We headed down to Little Torch to prepare for some snorkeling at Lou Key and enjoyed some beautiful sunsets and even better snorkeling with lots of sharks. We could not have ordered a better week for Jessie. 2 trips out to Lou Key before heading back toward Marathon and catching more fish, and a great anchorage off Cocoa Plum right before Thanksgiving. Now it was finally time for Dee to play with his birthday present. After lots of researching, watching videos, and reading up on his drone, he was ready to fly. Here is the first flight. On Thanksgiving Day, we finally got our friends Nelson and Danny out on the boat and headed out to Coffin Patch to snorkel. It was a little rough, but we got in a few snorkels before a huge barracuda kept us on the boat. We headed in to fix Thanksgiving dinner. First, Jessie got in a little kayaking around Cocoa Plum. We had a typical boat Thanksgiving with fresh fish and watched the sun go down for the last time with Jessie. It was time for Jesse and Harley to leave the boat. We are super sad to let them go, but know we will see them soon for Christmas. The long drive back to Fort Lauderdale to put them on the plane and say goodbye. But Christmas is coming, and we will be headed to North Carolina.